What's up, guys? Ruben Velasquez here, aka the Nintendo God, and in today's episode is another gaming thoughts video. This time, it's going to be my thoughts on the Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave Nintendo Direct that came out earlier this morning. So, with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did making it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And comment down below what are your thoughts or opinions on the Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave Direct that came out earlier this morning. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to be talking about this Direct in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, yeah, my thoughts on this Direct are pretty, quick and easy because it just felt like Fire Emblem Three Houses, but instead of three protagonists, it's four, or technically five, because near the end of the direct they showed that you actually don't really fully start the game until after your four main characters are basically missing or dead. I mean, they said missing in the direct, but I'm gonna presume that they're dead. But yeah, there's technically five heroes that you play as in this game, and they all have different stories to them. So it's kind of like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where each protagonist had a different story, um, specifically for that character. Like with Edelgard, she had her own story. Dimitri had his own story, and Claude had his own story in Three Houses. And it's the same thing in this game as well, but with four characters, and of course an extra one afterwards. Um, so honestly, I don't know. It just felt like the same. And hell, they even bring back Sothis, which was the person in charge of how should I put this? Basically the person that helped Byleth in Three Houses throughout his or her whole adventure, and is also the reason why you could also reverse time in battle, in the middle of a battle, to fix your mistakes in the fight. So it's kind of weird how they bring back Sothis. I mean, it's not really weird. It's more like a big coincidence. I mean, there's five different main characters in this game. Each of them have their own plot to deal with, and they bring back a character that is specifically for a previous Fire Emblem game that had a similar concept. Coincidence? I think not. But yeah, the direct was just showing off um, the different weapons and stuff you do. Like every modern Fire Emblem game has now, you can choose different weapons like spears, bows, magic tombs. But the thing that actually got me cracking up in this direct, which doesn't really happen when it comes to their game directs, is you can actually use a fucking gun in this game as a weapon. Now, they didn't say gun precisely. They said firearm, but still, it looks like a gun. It looks like a pistol, honestly, but it shoots out like a laser instead. Um, so I'm just gonna call it a gun, but I was cracking up laughing because of that shit. I saw that in the direct. And I'm like, oh my god, it's getting to that point where Fire Emblem is starting to become like real life, where they use guns. It's like Fire Emblem, but with guns. Pew pew pew. It was a little bit weird, but it was funny at the same time to see that character using a gun in a tactical RPG that's set in medieval times, basically, or knights in shining armor and dragons and shit like that. Um, so it was really really funny to see the gun in the game as a usable weapon for your character. But yeah, other than that, it just felt like Three Houses all over again, just with a different coat of paint and more characters to play as, but different stories to do to them. Um, so there wasn't really much anything new that was really interesting to me. Honestly, it really wasn't that interesting. This direct was kind of a mediocre, I guess you could say. If I was rating this direct, honestly, I'd probably give it a 3 or 4 out of 10, to be honest. Not interesting at all. I was actually yawning near the end of the direct. That's how boring this direct was. The only part that actually piqued my interest was the gun section of the game. But yeah, it's really not a good direct, to be honest. Like, and I never really said that about any Nintendo Direct or game direct that Nintendo makes. Um, but hmm, there's really not much else to talk about. It's just Fire Emblem, same tactical RPG likeness. Uh, weapons that you basically know already from Three Houses, Engage, and any other Fire Emblem game at this point. I don't know. It's getting to the point where Nintendo's kind of feel like is running out of ideas for Fire Emblem titles, like for brand new experiences. Because there's so much you can do with a medieval setting where the main characters fight demon dragons and shit like that, which I think has happened one too many times where the main characters has to fight a demonized type of dragon. Because you did that, I think, in Engage, and I know you did that in Three Houses. I don't know about. Well, I guess I don't really think this counts as a main Fire Emblem game, but it's a spin off. You fight a demonized dragon in Fire Emblem Warriors called Valeric or Valazark or something, if I remember correctly. But yeah, there's too many dragons, like demon dragons, you gotta fight in Fire Emblem as like the final fight. That it gets repetitive, and it's to the point where I think Nintendo's running out of ideas for new Fire Emblem games. And Fortune's Weave starting to feel like that too, like kind of repetitive and same old, same old. Um, at least with the Mario or Zelda, they can still pump out new games that feel fresh and exciting for new players and old players as well. And same thing with like Pokemon. Like I feel like Pokemon would never die at all. Like Pokemon seems like immortal at this point because like they're still coming out with new Pokemon games. They're still coming out with new Pokemon cards with the card game, and even though the anime of Pokemon has been over for years now, I feel like they could have kept on going. It could have been like the new One Piece, to be honest, with how much Pokemon are in the as a whole, like Pikachu, Charizard, all those Pokemon. But yeah, I'm just saying that these other franchises because they're actually good at making fresh new games. But Fire Emblem, I feel like, is one of those franchises where like it's starting to get repetitive and boring. Um, but yeah, the Fortune's Week Direct was mediocre at best. I wouldn't really. I mean, if you're into boring or repetitive tactical RPGs like Fire Emblem, then I guess go ahead and play this game when it comes out this year. Um, but yeah, other than that, those are just my thoughts and opinions on the direct of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Like I said, it was just too looked repetitive and boring. Like I said, I yawned near the end of the direct. Like it was pretty tiring to see because it was kind of boring. But yeah, that being said, guys, those are just my thoughts and opinions on this direct. You guys can tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comments of this video. But yeah. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's gaming thoughts video as much as I did making it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and comment down below what are your thoughts and opinions on this direct of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. And with that being said, this is the Nintendo Gods signing out. Peace. Bye, guys. Oh yeah, and stay tuned. Um, stay tuned for my next video. It's going to be on Sonic Racing Crossroads. It's going to be my next review. It's coming out this Thursday, so stay tuned for that video when it comes out this Thursday. And with that being said, peace.